Welcome. You're listening to Ask the Doulas, a podcast where we talk to experts from all over the country about topics related to pregnancy, birth, postpartum, and early parenting. Let's chat.
Hello. This is Kristin Revere with Ask the Doulas, and I am thrilled to chat with Christy Shannon today. She is Ollie AI's co-founder and CMO. And Christy Shannon is the kind of marketer who can build a CAC to LTV model and pack 4 lunch boxes before 7 a.m., usually in the same morning. For 2 decades, she has been helping brands grow by figuring out what people actually care about and turning it into stories, strategies, and campaigns that scale. These days, Christy's applying that same lens to the most demanding audience she's ever worked for, her own family. Before Ollie, Christy led marketing at Primer, where she helped top DTC brands like Hims and Madison Reed grow through high-performance creative and paid social. She's rebranded global platforms like Fandom, built in-house creative studios from scratch, and driven acquisition at scale, all while staying relentlessly focused on making brands feel human. As co-founder and CMO of Ollie, she's building the AI personal assistant she wished she'd had through every season of motherhood. The one that handles the calendar, Tetris, the school forms, the weight. Is it pajama day? The dinner decisions, the appointment reminders, and the 1,000 other invisible tasks that hold a family together. Ollie's mission is simple. Take the mental load off parents so they can spend more of their time actually being present for the people they love. Christy lives in Southern California with her husband and 4 kids who double as Ollie's most demanding QA team. She's never met a spreadsheet she didn't want to color code, believes dinner should never be the hardest part of the actual day, and is building Ollie so families everywhere can spend less time managing life and more time actually living it. Welcome, Christy.
Hi. Well, thank you so much. It's so nice to be here.
I always say moms get things done, and you built a platform to solve problems that you saw in your own family. And I'm sure talking to other moms and colleagues and working with high-end brands that you had, like you really solved a lot of problems. And I've only touched the surface of what Ollie can do. But I'm using the calendar function in my own personal life, and it helps me stay on track in my business.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, yeah, I love that. Moms do get things done. And, it's moms are busy, as we all know. We take on so much in our day-to-day. We have things going on both inside our families and outside our families, and we're trying to juggle it all. And so there's, I've always throughout all stages of motherhood been looking for tools and solutions to help me to be more efficient, to be a better parent, to be a better employee, or whatever the case may be, and really found a gap in tools that could help me manage the mental work that I do every day. I sometimes think about it as like a ticker tape that runs through my head of all the to-dos that constantly in the back of my mind. Don't forget to sign this form, or don't forget to go pick up this birthday gift for an upcoming birthday party, or pay the gardener, all of these random things that we have going on in our lives. And there's not really a great system to help with that. And so that's what we're trying to accomplish with Ollie.
I love it. And I feel like May and December are both those very demanding months if you have school-aged children. You talk about the field trips and the forms and money that's due and appointments that need to be made and sporting events. And so I find that May is just so overwhelming for me. So even just starting using the Ollie platform within the last month has helped me a lot.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's great to hear. Yes, Maycember is real. There's just so much going on, right? And having a second brain, something else to kind of help you think through everything that you need to do can be really valuable.
So we are talking about the mental load today and balancing life as a mom. So what are your tips for our listeners to balance it all, other than, of course, using AI?
Yeah. So, the mental load is real. It's not the doing, it's the invisible work. If if you're familiar with Eve Rodsky, she's done a lot of phenomenal work around this topic and even has a deck of cards that I highly recommend called the Fair Play deck, where you can sit down with your partner and divide up all of these individual tasks, the remembering, the tracking, the noticing, the anticipating, to see who in your home is taking on those things. And you might find that one of you is doing a lot more of that. And that stuff, that remembering, the tracking, the noticing, that's the invisible load. And every person has it. With or without kids, everyone thinks about, what am I going to eat? And do I have a doctor's appointment? And do I need to fill the car with gas or charge it or whatever? When you start to have kids, that starts to stack, and it's not 1 + 1 = 2. It grows exponentially. You start to have to think about, as soon as they're born, you're starting to track sleeping schedules and feeding schedules, and you're looking at developmental milestones and trying to remember, is this, what are they on track for this one thing? And did I write down their last bowel movement? And did I order enough diapers? And all of those things start to add up very, very quickly. And that is the mental load.
And I'm a big fan of the Fair Play method. So I'm glad that you mentioned the card deck, and the book is great. There's so many fantastic videos and facilitators around the country.
There are. And I find it such a wonderful exercise for really understanding, because I think so many of us go through, and I was this way for most of my life, just doing it, just thinking it, doing it, and not really realizing it. And you mentioned tips or tricks. I think the very first step in understanding and helping with the mental load is making it visible and understanding, what are these things that I'm doing all the time, sometimes even subconsciously, that take up my mental space. Because if we don't understand them, we don't recognize them, then we can't find solutions for them. And so identifying them is the first step. The Eve Rodsky Fair Play deck is a great way of doing that. Another tool for that can be simply writing things down as you think of them, like, oh, I remembered to refill the soap, or I remembered that we need to, I mentioned pay the gardener. Those kinds of things that you have to do constantly, you just go through your day and don't realize. And if you start to visualize those, bring them forward, then you can realize, okay, these are all the things I need to do. And here, I need support for these things. If I can, I'll share a little anecdote about myself. So I mentioned I have 4 kids. My oldest is 4.5 years older than my twins. I had twin girls. And then about 15 months later, I had my 4th. So I had 3 kids under the age of 3. Actually, 3 kids under the age of 2 for about 6 months. And it was a really busy time as a mom, managing very young kids and going through sort of the motion of parenthood and babies. And I took some time off of work to stay home with them. And after about a year or so, I decided I wanted to sort of stair step my way back into the workforce. So my twins were old enough to go into preschool. I put them in preschool part-time, and then I had a babysitter help out with my youngest. And I started to transition back to part-time work. As I was doing this, I was, starting to feel the weight of all of these things happening in my life, managing preschool and the babysitter and work and my older child in kindergarten at the time, and, all of the things that come along with that. And one day I took my daughters to preschool, and I had my youngest with me, and I took them into the preschool classroom, and the teacher looked at me and she said, "Well, did you bring snack today?" And I looked at her and I just was like blank in the face. I had no recollection that I was supposed to bring snack, and it was devastated. I'm such a sort of type A person. I couldn't imagine that I had forgotten something like that. And so I said to her, no, don't worry. I've got a few extra minutes. I'm going to run to the store and I'll be right back with snacks. So I put my baby in the car and we go down the street to the store, and I'm sort of frantically looking for the store, not paying attention. And I run a red light and I get in a car accident and I'm fine. I broke my wrist. My baby, fortunately, is totally fine.
Okay, good.
And it could have been so much worse, but it was a wake up call for me and forced me to slow down and realize that all of these little tiny things were stacking up to a point that was unmanageable. And I couldn't take on all of this myself. I needed support. And so that was a moment for me to start to identify that I needed to offload some of this mental work and bring my husband in more to what I was doing and give him more visibility into what I was doing, and bring my babysitter at the time who turned into more of a nanny for us, and give her more visibility into what I was doing to help me. And it was really that I wasn't sharing the work that was in my head, and I wasn't sharing all of the things that were weighing me down. And so I needed to bring that to light so that I could have other people help me with it. And so that was a really significant moment for me, because I realized I can't do it all, even though I wanted to. I couldn't. Right. And so, I think as we think about the mental load and just bringing that forward, finding the visibility for it, and then finding people who can support you with that is the biggest thing you could do.
How are you resetting your home for the new year? Refresh your sheets and towels to start off the new year right. If self-care is on your list, then Cozy Earth is the first step. Indulge in everyday luxury with their Luxe Bath Towel Set. Impossibly soft and plush, these towels are crafted with a unique blend of cotton and viscose from bamboo, using innovative zero-twist technology. The result? Towels that feel like a gentle hug, drying you off quickly and efficiently, with an elevated design that ensures they look as good as they feel, adding a touch of sophistication to any bathroom, offering exceptional softness and absorbency, making them a must-have for your post-shower routine. Add a touch of everyday luxury to your baby registry with Cozy Earth Luxe Bath Towels, or gift them to a new parent who deserves to feel cared for too. After having a baby, even a simple shower can feel like a retreat. Cozy Earth's Luxe Bath Towels are incredibly soft and beautifully made, turning those rare, quiet moments into true self-care. As a doula, I always remind families that caring for yourself is part of caring for your baby. So investing in high-quality essentials for your home, like Cozy Earth's towels, help you recharge so you can show up fully for your family. Head to CozyEarth.com and use my code GoldCoast for up to 20% off. And if you get a post-purchase survey, be sure to mention you heard about Cozy Earth on the Ask the Doulas podcast. Refresh your routines with comfort that makes every day feel like a new year. I agree. And I feel like as moms and women, we tend to just take it on until we get to that point where there's a big sign, or we're just so burned out and drained that we have to ask for help, but everything stacks up and it gets to be too much.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can get to the point where it affects your mental health. And, there's a lot of data to support that. In fact, the US Surgeon General issued a report last year talking about parental health, and that 41% of parents say that most days they're so stressed they cannot function. There's a real need for modern parents today to get this kind of support and help, and to identify these mental tasks that are weighing us down.
Agreed. So fill our listeners and doula clients in about your platform and how they can utilize it to help with the mental load, to handle their calendar, give reminders, and so on.
Yeah. So Ollie is an AI assistant. It lives entirely in your text messages. It was really important to us that we didn't add another thing to do to your list. So we built Ollie to be in your text messages. It does not require an account or a login. It's simply text. And Ollie connects to the tools you're already using. So your email, your calendar, and it looks for important things, important information for you, and then surfaces that data to you in text message. So, for example, I have Ollie in a group chat with my husband and me. And I've told Ollie, look for all of our school emails and summarize those and let me know when I need to take action. So it reads all of our school emails. It tells me when something is important that we need to pay attention to, and then sends both my husband and me a text message at the same time. So we're both
Brilliant.
immediately on the same page. I don't now have that job of having to tell anyone. And as you know, if you've seen school emails, they're like paragraphs long, and often the most important thing is like, 4 paragraphs in, and you've got to really read through it. So that work is done. In calendars, it summarizes our calendars and sends us the daily briefing every single morning for both of us to see what's on both of our calendars, and it'll help identify conflicts, which has been really helpful. My kids are school age now and they're playing sports after school. And so we're constantly having conversations of who's doing pickup, who's doing drop off, where are we going? And Ollie helps manage and coordinate that schedule for us now. So that's been a big help. It also helps keep track of to-dos and reminders for us. So anything that's sort of in my brain that I'm trying to remember to do, I can now offload it to Ollie. And one of my favorite things to do is I'm in the car and I'll just, because it's in text message, say, hey Siri, send Ollie a text message to, and then I'll say whatever the to-do is, and Ollie will remember it, and it could create a reminder for me or create a calendar event. It can even draft and send emails for me. So
Amazing.
That is all taken care of.
Sending to Ollie. Okay, cancelled.
So, I think of it as my second brain, and it's a way for me to offload all of those mental tasks into an assistant that handles it and remembers it for me so I don't have to be the one to do it.
Exactly. And then your husband is getting those same emails. I have a family calendar that I share with my husband that tracks all of, the appointments and sporting events and drop-offs, but he doesn't check it the way I do. So this would be fantastic for him to utilize as well.
Yeah, it's, I find just having that shared visibility is really helpful. And then he connects for us, he connects his work calendar and I connect mine. So it brings all 3 of those calendars together in one place, which I never had that shared insight before. And so that's been really helpful for us too. And then
I was just going to say, you mentioned your babysitter and nanny and how you involved her in your calendar as well. So I'd love for you to touch more on that.
Yeah. So Ollie can work in a one-on-one conversation text message, or you can incorporate other people in your family into a conversation. And so this is really helpful if you have other caregivers in your home. So if you have a postpartum doula working with you at home, and if you have a nanny, you can have them in the chat with you. They can have visibility into your calendar just like you would. You can, let's say if you're tracking sleep schedules, you can do that with Ollie, and Ollie can create reports and summaries right in text message, and your doula can be right in the conversation with you. It can help with other to-dos and reminders, doctor's appointments, tracking any of that kind of information can all be done in there. Ollie can help manage that process for you, and it can do it in that same group chat with a doula, a nanny, any other caregiver in your home.
I love that so much. And then doulas who are sharing call for a client or working as a group with a family in the postnatal phase, I imagine that we could use that function to keep track of clients and stay on top of tasks and update on, again, how sleep went and feedings and so on.
Yes, exactly. That's Ollie's really great at tracking and summarizing information and doing it in a way that's easy for you to sort of process and move on and then move on from. You don't have to keep thinking about it. You can get the information you need and then you can sort of compartmentalize it and then move on.
And you don't need to log into an app and deal with technology issues that might arise since it's all in messages versus a unique app.
Yeah, exactly. There's no new system you need to learn. It's all in the tools you use every single day where you're probably texting, if you're like me, probably too many times a day.
For sure.
Hey, Alyssa here. I'm just popping in to tell you about our course called Becoming. Becoming a Mother is your guide to a confident pregnancy and birth, all in a convenient 6-week online program. From birth plans to sleep training and everything in between, you'll gain the confidence and skills you need for a smooth transition to motherhood. Live coaching calls with me and Kristin, tons of expert videos including chiropractic care, pelvic floor physical therapy, mental health experts, breastfeeding, and so much more. You'll also get a private Facebook community with other mothers going through this at the same time as you to offer support and encouragement when you need it most. If you'd like to learn more about the course, you can email us at info@goldcoastdoulas.com or check it out at thebecomingcourse.com. We would love to see you there. We also have a book called Supported, Your Guide to Birth and Baby, which makes a beautiful companion to this course. It's a great book for any expecting mother and is the perfect baby shower gift. You can find information on that book at supportedbook.com.
So what's next for Ollie? I know AI changes rapidly. What do you have planned in the future?
We are continuing to improve Ollie in the way that it learns about you and your family and is more proactive. So Ollie is today already proactive. It will understand and learn from the context of your information that you share with it and ask questions of you to help you stay on top of things. We're going to be doing more and more of that. So if Ollie knows that you're going to be attending a first birthday next week, it can surface relevant birthday gift ideas for you. We're doing more work around meals and grocery shopping. We already today have integrations with Instacart and Walmart, and we're going to be doing more to make the process of finding recipes, understanding your pantry, and then connecting to these stores to place orders. We're going to be doing more to make that easier and more seamless for you.
I love it so much. So any other tips for our listeners, Christy?
My biggest tip is that if you're not already trying AI, whether it's Ollie or something else, I would encourage you to just go and play with AI a little bit. It's a very powerful tool and it can really help with your day to day. So I would encourage you, whether it's Claude or ChatGPT, or of course, we'd love for you to use Ollie. Give it a try, play with it, and see how AI can help you. My favorite way to use it is to ask it to be your thinking partner. Give it an idea that you're thinking about and ask it questions about how to think about it differently. And you might be surprised at what kinds of answers you get.
I haven't tried that yet. I will have to do so. So how can our listeners and our doula clients and doulas on our team begin signing up with Ollie? What costs are associated and so on?
You can find Ollie at ollie.ai and you can simply start texting right from that page. There's a button there that just says text Ollie and it'll open up text messages and you can just start chatting with Ollie. It's as easy as that. It's free to start. And it's a message-based system. So you get free messages to start and get a feel if Ollie is the right fit for you and if it's going to help you. And if it is, and you want to use it more, then the everyday plan is $25 a month. And that gives you access to Ollie to really take on all of that day-to-day coordination. And but it is free to try at no account or credit card or login is needed.
And then that $25 per month, is that per user? So if a nanny and multiple doulas and the father would be involved, would it be a different fee for each or one monthly fee for the family unit?
That's a great question. So the pricing is based on who initiates the conversation. So if you are paying the $25 a month, that would include your conversation and any group chats that you initiated. So if you initiated group chats with your doula and your nanny and your partner, that would all be included in your everyday plan. If your partner decided to go out and have one-on-one conversations with Ollie separately, they'll start on the free plan and will have the ability to engage with Ollie for free until they want to upgrade to that more involved plan.
Okay, that makes sense. So you mentioned the website, Ollie.ai, and then you're also on social media. Where can our listeners find you on social?
They can find Ollie on Instagram, Hey Ollie AI. And then you can find me personally on LinkedIn. I'm Christy Shannon on LinkedIn, and I'd love to hear from you. Please reach out and yes, connect with me and send me a DM. It would be fun to connect and hear from anyone.
Thank you so much, Christy. And we will have to have you on in the future as you expand Ollie.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. This has been really fun.
Thanks for listening to Ask the Doulas. For more information about Gold Coast Doulas, visit us on our website, goldcoastdoulas.com. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. If you like this podcast, please subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Thank you. Remember, these moments are golden.